have an intro.
We are live for the debut of Three Women and a Man show.
Can you figure out who's who? I hope you can.
They might get confused between you and me, Max, since we look so much alike.
I know.
True.
And I cleaned up for this too.
Yeah, I think we should all introduce
I'm ready
ourselves.
for my close up, Mr. Videville.
That sounds like a good idea. Who's going first?
Max,
Ladies first.
makeup on over there, go for it.
Hello,
Matt, you're
everyone.
Yes.
Hello.
You're the minority here. Take the time to introduce yourself first.
No.
I'm not going there. Hi, everyone. My name is Maccabee Griffin. And I am the host of Beyond the Pen podcast. And I'm also a voice actor. So if you ever need a personality, well, we've got plenty of them here, let me tell you. And I'm not talking about the 3 other ladies on here. So
Yes.
The voices in his brain are awesome. Let me tell you. They help him.
of course they are, lady. They're so wonderful.
I thought I was
seriously,
bad,
ladies. Seriously, let's go. Let's go with the lady next to me, Miss Lady Maya.
Who's next to you? Lady
I
Maya.
just said the lady.
Lady Maya. I am just like Maccabee. Definitely have multiple personalities, definitely. But I don't have the voiceover action. I would love to, but I might just get them mixed up. No, but I do have a podcast that is called Living Your Best Life with Lady Maya. Also, I do have 2 radio shows and a also not just a podcast, but I also have a live every Friday. And so yeah, we try to have fun and we goof off and we talk about all so yeah, it's fun. Anybody else?
All right,
All
sis,
right,
you're next.
so I'm going. Give me a second. I'm trying to hide the fake fire behind me, okay? All right, so good evening, everyone. My name is Tiffany Roman. I am what you would call the small biz queen because everything small business is all about me. I'm just saying. So I have a podcast, digital TV show, web show. The question is, what don't I have? No, so my podcast, digital TV show, and web show are all dedicated to small business owners. I am looking to introduce them as people first, as human beings, so we can get to know them a little bit, getting to know what their products and services are, and then, introducing how we can support them, how COVID affected them, just have a conversation, a candid one at that, because I'm not about scripted conversation, people. We keep it real. But, we just launched our first official app, so check us out on Apple Store or Google Play, whatever you call them, so that you can download it and you can check all of our episodes there from any platform, honestly. So I'm really excited. And Ashley, now it's your turn.
Well, I'm probably going to be the most boring one here.
Please.
Yeah, great people all around me. But I'm the host of the Malbash Media Show and a bunch of other things. But that's the main one, and we highlight our artists in the field and professionals that are in the media field and try to give them a little bit of exposure with some of the big names out there. And we have a platform where they can learn and grow on and everything. So it's a really exciting time, and that's actually how I met everybody on here. That's kind of fun. But yeah, I guess tonight we're gonna kind of go into podcasting because we all do different versions of podcasting or the TV. I don't have as many. I don't have as many channels as you guys do. You guys have so many.
That
going
doesn't
on.
matter. Come on.
Got TV show. Tiffany got TV show. Late Maya got TV show. Mac, you don't have a TV show yet, but that's coming, right?
Yeah, we'll go that way.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So no. Um, look,
See how
the
they
important
treat me
thing,
here, ladies
Ashley.
and gentlemen? They
No,
treat
come
me
on.
so horribly.
I know, right?
You're literally gonna
In
get
our defense, he makes it extremely easy, but we'll get to that. You'll see. You'll see.
Wow. Okay.
But
Okay. I got you. I
Ashley,
got you.
I think it's really important to highlight that it doesn't matter that you don't have as many platforms as we do or different styles of shows as we do out
Right.
here. The important thing is that you are among the few that took the chance to press record and actually get started. There's so many people who do not
Mhm.
even get past that point. So you should be absolutely proud of where you are right now in your journey because it's not fair to compare yourself to everybody else.
Yeah,
You're
here's
so
the other
sweet.
thing.
That means
Here's
a
the
lot.
other thing. Ashley has her own agency. Okay. That's
Come
something
on,
we
man.
don't
I
have.
don't have that.
We don't have
She
that.
she has like every creative type at the
Hey,
tip
you
of
guys
her
might
fingertip.
prove it. No, you guys are
And
awesome.
she has a team of people that are working with her.
Mm-mm.
I got
Come on
one
now.
person to help me out. Right now we're trying to work on the team.
I'm by
Okay?
myself.
You want one? I got one. You can have her.
I am by my lonesome doing everything by myself. Help me.
Okay. Your
I
daughters do not
Have
count.
everything,
Okay. You
girl. You
cannot
guys
give your
doing
kids
all this
away.
stuff.
They don't help me. Trust me. They be like, nah.
Lady Maya's trying to like push her kids off on everybody else.
Yeah,
Hey,
they
I got
don't
my
find
kid
out
doing
till
my music
later
right
that
now.
they need
Okay.
to do this. Yeah.
You
That's what
know,
you were
My
talking
little
about.
one.
but
Not-
yes. So Ashley, don't do that to yourself.
Yeah.
We're
I
all
got
here because we obviously get along with each other, number one. Two, because we're very diverse in our level of exposure out there. Just
And
makes us a
craziness.
better compilation of experts, I guess you could say. I mean, I've
Yep.
only been at this for 2 years, so I would say I'm not an expert, but then that's, the whole imposter syndrome going there because
Yeah.
obviously I know what I'm doing because I've survived this long. So,
You got a lot of
like I
episodes.
said,
Yeah, fantastic work. I mean,
like what was the first thing that you felt like when you started your podcast? Like I
Ooh.
think that is like one of those things that it really it killed you because it just like, oh my God, it's on.
yeah.
And then you had to figure it out and just put it together. What was that for you?
I think for me, it was, the first time that what you're saying or what you're standing for is going live and it's out there and people play it. And it's like, okay, that was cool. Like, what's next? And the first time, like, Tiffany said, it's hard to get that first, episode out there and kind of to get it going and to then create that momentum and go through the ups and downs because one episode will get a lot of downloads, other ones will be like, and you're just like, okay, well, what happened? And so it's kind of going through that up and down roller coaster and what's next and reevaluating and figuring out. So I mean, it's a lot, and then getting all the equipment. Everybody thinks that one speaker is better than another, or one microphone is better than another. Programs. I mean, there's so many programs out there and so many ways to find people to be on your shows and stuff. So it's kind of confusing.
It's scary, right?
But that's a really
It
good
is
thing.
scary.
For me, it was out there, and it's like it's better to be good. Do I have anything important to offer? Basically,
Yeah.
and
that I think that's where the imposter syndrome comes in with a lot of people, and that's why a lot of people don't do it, is because they're scared, because they don't want to feel like they're not really an expert in anything that they're doing. But that's one great thing about podcasting. You don't have to be an expert. Now, obviously, if you're talking about psychology and you're trying to be like, yeah, and you haven't had something like that, that's going to be a little bit difficult. But if it's like for me, if it's, for me, I bring on authors, newly or unknown authors, onto our show just to give them a platform to tell us about themselves, their book, and the story behind the story. Because we want them to, like Tiffany said with hers, we want people to have that personal connection with their audience, because we all know how hard it is to create, something,
Yeah.
because we're all creatives in our own rights.
Yeah.
But thinking about that as as an author, it's really difficult to get your name out there and for people to actually really take that chance on reading your thoughts
Yeah.
on this, And so for me, it is that idea of like, okay, I'm going to take a chance on you, and I'm not going to charge you anything at this time. Now, when you start to, get your audience up to like 3, 4, 5,000 people, we're going to talk, because you're going to come back and, start helping me again with my audience again.
Mhm.
So, but
That's
it is
fun.
that point, like you said, all those downloads, because for me, I can't see, what my audience size is now. I can only tell how many, how many downloads I've had for each episode, because I've only been out less than 30 days. Well, actually, now I think today is 30 days, but I won't be seeing anything analytically until, 60, 90 days from now. So I'm just going off of whatever comes my way. I'm like, hey, yeah, we're just going to
Yep.
take you on and pray that that's what the audience wants to see.
Yeah,
Because
that's
we're talking about stuff that not a lot of people are going to talk about. We're going to talk about some of these sensitive things. I've already had women on here talking about being, sexually assaulted, domestic violence. We've talked about little things about even diet and history and business and all this other stuff, because we want you to understand this. We want you to get these stories, because we know that people are out there who have went through that, and they need somebody to connect with right now. So that's why I did it with my niche. And that's the great thing about niches, is that they can be broad. There's so many broad niches out there that you can connect with. The only thing I always tell people is that you have to be authentic. You have to be yourself. You have to bring your own personality. And at least for us, we have multiple personalities here. Some of us have more than one. So yeah, I'm talking to you, Tiffany.
I think
I knew that was going to get her.
you know what?
Nope.
I will
Nope.
make a comment that I have never admitted to anybody else, but I will admit it to all of you. If I talk to myself, I talk to myself in a British accent.
Good.
I love it. That's
I
great.
love
I
that.
don't know why.
You need
It's
to
just
your
fun.
personality characters.
But if
Oh,
I'm trying to think something out by myself, or I'm trying to figure something out, I don't want to hear my own voice or my own dialect or whatever. I just randomly start talking in a British accent. My
All
boyfriend
right,
caught
give
me
it to me.
once.
All right, give me the
I'm
British
not
accent.
giving it to you.
Come
Nope.
on.
But
Come on. You
my
already pushed it
boyfriend
out
caught
there.
me once, and he was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I'm talking to myself. Leave me alone. Give me a moment. All right, I'm trying to figure shit out here."
Okay, Encanto.
But it happens
No.
though. It happens. It's like, okay, remember the saying that was on the books, and it was just like, I talk to myself because I'm the smartest person I know. It was
Yeah.
awesome. It was awesome. Like, you can actually answer yourself and different things like
Yes.
that. You can get through all those really hard and difficult situations.
Everybody's gonna think I'm psycho now.
Oh, no, sweetie. We already knew that. It was already out there already. So no one's going to think bad about you when they already know the truth.
I am sure most of my family
Oh,
members will
no.
agree. They'll be
Uh,
chiming in to let you know, "Oh yeah, she's psycho. We're good."
well, they already made a movie from you.
Oh, stop. Okay, no.
I
No,
love doing this.
okay?
I love doing
So
this,
Disney
Tiffany.
comes out with this movie Encanto, and for some reason the girl looks like everybody keeps
Oh,
telling me the
I
girl
Mhm.
thought
looks
the
like her.
same thing. I thought she looked
See?
just
That
like you. I was like,
See, I
oh
told you.
my gosh, it's like watching
That is
So
so awesome.
it's done. Now I know I have to dress up like her for Halloween. That's
Yes,
all.
you have to.
It'll be the easiest
That is
costume she'll
I'm
ever
just gonna go
have.
down the street talking about La Family Madrigal.
No one talks about Boris.
You.
We don't talk about Boris.
We don't talk about Bruno. I'm gonna walk down
Oh,
the street. We
Bruno,
don't talk
Bruno,
about Bruno.
We don't talk about
No
Boris either.
Oh
My
my
sister
god.
sings that all the time. Every
Oh
time
my
she does
God.
it, I'm just like, I picture the little girl running around, and like she looks just like you, Tiffany. Like it's very
Oh
real.
my gosh.
I'm telling you, you're gonna have to go back to him and say, "Hey, where's my money? Where's my money?"
Mhm.
Yeah,
I'll
you
take
should
it.
go up and be like, hey, I'd like some royalties off of this. Obviously, you took it from
How dare you steal my likeness?
How dare you take my life? Have you
Oh
not
my
seen my
God.
house? My house is exactly like this. Have you not seen my family? My sister could kick your rear end in. Let me tell you.
Oh God,
Of course, we got the
enough.
perfect one.
my
That's
brother's name is
horrible.
Morris. I really am this person.
It's Bruno.
Right.
It's Bruno. I just say Boris because I've got that Russian part in me because I've listened to it in the different languages, and it doesn't sound
Oh
like Boris
God.
to me. It sounds like Bruno, or it doesn't sound like Bruno. It sounds like Boris to me. So in the Russian part, I'm like, okay.
How many people do you have in your mind, sir?
Oh, sweetie, we don't have
In
time
my
to go
what?
over all of them. No, personalities. Hey,
Oh God, he has
I'm
so
going to say
many.
this. There's so many. There's so many. Okay, if I technically go by the, I think it's called the Laban effect. If I do it, if I go off of basic off of that, which is an idea of how to create characteristics for a character. There's
Okay.
always a direct 8, and it's just the way that we talk. Then you add in all the other traits of like sex, age, if they have a lisp, if they have an accent, how big are they, stuff like that. All these various traits. If we go off of that, I have over 394,914 different personalities,
That sounds interesting. I like it.
technically speaking. But if we go by the legal age, if we go by the legal, about 65, because they actually did. When I was going into the military when I was 19, I was going into the Air Force. I had something happened to me at that time, and I made the comment while I was at the MEPS, which is where you get all your testing and everything done. And for some reason, the doctors there overheard me. And it's like, okay, we need to get him checked out by a psychologist. I'm like, okay, fine. That's too easy. So I leave. I come back. I have the test. I leave. A couple days later, I go back to my recruiter, and he goes, "Well, we can't get you into the Air Force." I'm like, "Why?" Well, because they say that you are legally insane with multiple personalities. And I literally, I was just dumbfounded for a minute there. I was like, and the only thing that popped out of my mouth was, "And I'm an actor. Where do you think I get my characters from?"
Hello.
He didn't like that answer, so I had to wait like 5 years until the Army decided, show us that you can actually hold down a job and we'll bring you in. So I did, and I did my time. So it tells you how like the sanity levels of the military are,
Yeah.
Oh, we'll take anybody.
They'll take anybody when they're desperate to reach their numbers.
Yeah. That's the only reason
Those
why me and
recruiters
Tiffany got
won't
in.
play. Hey, I got in.
Exactly. Exactly my point.
I got
Thank
in
you.
because they probably needed to meet their quota for women for the month.
And not just women, Hispanic crazy women. Crazy
There you go.
Hispanic
Yes.
women. See, you
Yes.
need somebody to have a gun on them.
There's probably a lot of truth to that. I'm not gonna lie.
That's true.
But
Wow.
I will never regret my decision. I will never
No,
go
neither
through
will I.
basic training again, but I will never
No,
forget.
no. Here's the funny thing. I actually had
Best time of my life that I don't ever want to experience again.
There was a quote earlier that I was going through, TikTok and all this other stuff, and there was a social media about a gentleman who was 56 years old and went through basic training again. He went through Vietnam, and then he came back in and
Nope.
was like, "Why? There was no way in the world I would ever do that to myself again." And this is coming from
No.
somebody. I'm telling you, you ask anybody who has been in the military. No, we will never ever do basic training ever again. There's only so many times that you can be broken just to get rebuilt again.
Horrible.
It is. There's only so many times that you can go through a gas chamber until you're going to the point where you're like Bobcat.
I never breathed
from,
more clear in
from
my life than when I came out
yeah.
the gas chamber. My nose
You
was
remember?
clean.
Do you remember Bobcat from Police Academy?
Mhm.
Yes.
Bobcat Goldman. I think I can't remember how to say his last name. That's exactly what it's like. But after you've done it so many times, you're just coming out without the mask on. You're just like, da, 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 da. What? That was it? Oh, come on.
They
I've had
really
worse than
do.
that.
I don't know what they made you say, but they made us say like I don't even remember. It
Everything.
was like our name, our rank, our social, and we had to say like the first stanza of the Soldier's Creed.
Soldier's Creed.
Oh,
Then you had to tell them where you were at and how many siblings you had.
Oh God,
And
yeah.
you had to name your siblings too. And for me, that sucked because I have 4 names to go by for myself. And then you want me to say everything else. And then you want me to tell you all the rest of my siblings. And I have like 12.
well,
No, I'm not doing that anymore. You got it once. Yeah. You got it once. All right, back to the podcast.
Even after all of that, podcasting still terrified me. And
Yeah,
I was
that's true.
doing live video broadcasting first. Like I was doing live video on social media to begin with. I didn't know what the heck I was doing. I didn't even intend for this to become a podcast of any kind. Like I just wanted to help some friends of mine during the shutdowns, let people know that because even though the shutdowns were happening, they were still, trying to figure out a way to work from home. So then get their story directly from them versus, what the media was trying to sell us on everybody as a whole. So, interviewed a couple people, and before every interview, I swear I had to do Lamaze before I hit live. Some of the people laughed at me, like deep breathing exercises. I'm telling you, like
like sweat falling down her face and
I
everything.
can't believe that. Oh my gosh, you're so good at it.
Get it out of me!
It took me probably months before I could hit live. I'm telling you, it terrified me because one, I think what made it a lot better was that there was going to be somebody on screen with me. But
yeah.
But the thought of going live like you, Ashley, when you were talking about how, oh my God, whatever I say is out there then. There's no turning back. Like once it comes out, there's no retracting it.
Yeah, exactly. That's the end. Yep.
I'm sitting there. It took me a while. You could definitely tell. My first interviews are so horrible. I rewatched some of them. I'm like, oh God, I hope I sound a lot better than that right now.
Yeah, but that's coming from your perspective too. You probably really did a great job. I mean, you do a great job now. No. And I always think the people that they struggle with it the most do the best job at it. And I don't know like what it is exactly that causes that, but if they say they're like, oh no, I hate it, I'm not good at it, I'm like, well then you're probably going to be really good at it because that's just how it is.
Yeah.
It's like
that's probably true. That's probably true.
Focus in and make it really interesting and unique. It's cool.
See, I like that. I like that a lot. You know why? Because I have several different shows, so I get a chance to kind of be something else. I don't have to be always with the entrepreneurs, but I can be with the people that have, all kinds of things in their past that, church didn't do for them, everybody else didn't do them, and they were shunned, and that was always interesting just to hear what they got to say. I can tell you some stuff.
I got a story for you, Lady Maya. We'll hook up later.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
It's
Oh my gosh, there are
the
so many
scenes stuff.
stories. It's not even funny.
So many.
There's so many.
No,
And
but
we're not even talking
yeah.
about her guest yet. We're still talking about Lady Maya herself.
No, I made my mama
Stop
get on the
it.
show. That was
Oh Lord. I'm
she was
telling
like,
you,
"Don't put
my
it up
mom
there."
is a small business owner and I love her. Mm-mm.
Not my
I
mom.
don't
She
think I
cannot
can bring
talk.
myself to bring her on the show.
Yeah, my
Mm.
mom won't talk. She'd be
I
like,
want to see your mama on the show. I want to
I
see
wanna
y'all's
hear
mamas on the show.
Okay, so number one,
I want to see it. I
I
want to see how
this right
bad this
here,
could be. I want to see this train wreck.
Oh,
this is what my mom looks like,
you-
minus the curly hair. My mom has straight, longer hair, but I look exactly like my mom.
Oh,
really?
that's so
Oh, that's so
sweet.
cute.
Oh God, yeah, the
My
exact same
mama,
face as my mom. I
my
talk like
mom.
her. I laugh like her. I
Mhm.
write
Oh
like
my
her. So
god.
if we did, somebody would think that I was talking to myself on an
Mhm.
interview if all they did was listen to the audio. That's how creepy it would be.
Oh, that's
Well, then
Swear
you're
to
gonna have
God.
to start using that British
I am
accent then.
Yeah, yeah. You gotta do that.
I'll have
You
to
have to do
practice
that.
it. No, but it would be really creepy. I look exactly like her. For her 50th birthday, we had like this slideshow presentation showing like her high school pictures and all that. I put her graduation picture next to mine and nobody could tell who was who other than the really old picture versus the newer picture.
Oh
whoa. You
Huh?
guys are like
no.
twins. I've got a lot of my
Yeah,
mom's
we're
pictures. She has a way better voice than me. My voice sounds like a little kid. She said at one point, she's like, we need to make you smoke cigarettes, Ashley, so that your voice won't sound like a
Oh
little
no.
kid.
No.
you keep your voice, Ashley.
Welcome to the podcast.
Would you?
Oh God, I think that's the last thing we need. I'm telling you
That's
right now.
horrible.
There's
Oh
enough people in the
no.
world that are famous that talk like that. We don't need any more. We're good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
we
that's fair
don't
enough.
we don't need that. We don't need that. My mom's very, very like
So
she's very like she's like the small person and she's got a very low speaking voice and she's like, oh well, I was this and that and I'm like, no. Do
oh,
it.
your
Regular.
mom's one of those that when she sneezes, she goes, "Achoo," right?
Me
Oh
too.
my gosh.
It's so bad. It's
The
like,
first time I heard somebody sneeze like that was when I was at basic training and I nearly peed myself in laughter because I was like, what was that?
Stop making
I
fun
was,
of me. It's
I was
not
like, what just happened?
funny.
And all she did was, I was like,
Like, is that even a sneeze? Like, was that? Was
I
there?
was like, do we have a mouse?
Do we have a mouse issue here?
that? Oh my
Exterminator?
gosh.
oh God,
Oh,
that's horrible.
okay. Whew. Sorry.
Doing
Okay.
it.
Flashbacks.
Yeah.
Flashbacks.
No,
Right.
I know.
Right.
I'm having flashbacks.
Oh,
But no, I mean,
It's better
like
than
I said, I
having
was
hot flashes.
terrified. Obviously,
Never
Ashley
told
was
your
nervous
mama
going
you're
live the first time. But then, did you find yourself getting more comfortable with it the second time around, or did it take a couple lives for you to get comfortable, Ashley?
Man, I definitely the first one is just very jittery, and I go back and watch it like just kind of and it is like I feel like I get more comfortable, but then it just depends on the day too. Like some days I'm just like I want it, and then other days it's kind of like oh yeah I'm supposed to ask you a question now. Like oh we have to move to the next topic here, everybody. What was the topic? And let's and I'll just stumble over myself, but try to be
right.
graceful about it, and then I'll just smile and try to look cute and be like, all right, so back to you. What were you talking about? Let's
Oh
talk about that story that you just said again, and yeah,
no.
let's keep
That I've
going.
forgotten that you just talked
Yeah.
to me about. 2
Yeah, I
seconds
do
ago.
that
I'm
too.
in an interview right now. Oh my goodness! Hold on a
Say
second.
it
I'm
again.
thinking about like work and all this other stuff going on. Yeah.
Right? Yeah, especially when you're
Man,
doing the background and you're trying to make sure everything is up there. Oh my God, that is so annoying.
mhm.
Yeah.
You know, I will definitely admit on mine, and you can go back and listen to episode 1 and 2 and 3. I'm on par when it has the technical difficulties. I have at least something going wrong on at least one of my podcasts so far. So my first one, I forgot to unmute myself for like the first 30 seconds. And then
I've watched that
everybody's
one.
in the background going, "You're muted. You're muted." I'm like, "Well, I already know this is my first show. Hi, everybody."
I've done that before.
My
I've
second,
done that before.
But you
my
did a
second
great
one.
intro.
Oh yeah. Well, thankfully I had
There you
something to work with there because that was
I
the
had
only way
already
that
said
got me
twice.
down that one. The second one I had something go out. Oh, I know what it was. My wife had accidentally hit the power strip, and it turned off the modem in the middle of my first 50 seconds. I did everything good, and then everything just died. I was
Oh,
like, "Are you kidding me?" So I had to go live again. I was like, "Well, I'm on par right now, ladies and gentlemen. Technical difficulties at some point."
The
So
magic of
thankfully I can
editing,
recover.
people. The magic of editing.
yeah. When
Oh,
that
there was no editing. There was nothing.
It just
I didn't even
live.
You
have
didn't
the
edit
first
it
part.
when you made it a podcast, though?
No, I didn't have anything to put it to. I
Oh,
did
you
not. I this was all live. This was all live. I didn't have the audio yet. So I haven't added anything to that because I want it to be as authentic as possible. I'm not going to tell you, "Hey, y'all, here's this," and then all of a sudden you go into the live part. No, I'm going to be like, "Hey, we had technical difficulties."
Face.
Yeah,
I've been
exactly.
there.
Yeah,
I've been
so it's
there.
just a lot easier.
I hosted a live event on Small Business Saturday. It was my first one ever. I was super excited. And then I was like, okay, I have an empty slot. I'm just gonna play another video from a previous interview to make up the time. Nobody could hear what the dude was saying. Nobody could hear what anything was saying because the video was. I could not figure out for the life of me how to put the darn sound on StreamYard. Shout out to StreamYard. You're awesome. I just want to say that. Anyway, so
brought to you by
but no, I
StreamYard.
could. Yeah, right. I could not figure out how to do it, and mid show, I'm like, you know what? I can't figure this out. So I guess I'm just gonna take a break right now, and I'll be right back with my next guest. And I just put a screen cover on an overlay on the screen, and just kind of like went into the fetal position for a second in the room. Oh my god! I was like, oh my gosh, it was awful, but I recovered.
Mm-hmm.
I figured it out after the event how to do it, so now I know how to do it if I need it. I figured out what was wrong. And yeah, so I learned a lot that first time around. And I think that's the beauty about going live and not scripted. Like that you have those technical difficulties so that you can grow and learn and make the show even better. I know it's scary. I know it doesn't look professional. I know that it may look tacky to some people and whatnot, but I mean, I give my interviews for free. So,
you're going to get what you get.
If you get me with my kids using me as a jungle gym, that's what you get.
Oh, yeah.
If you get me with my kids in the background yelling about their favorite show on TV, I'm sorry, but my kids during the COVID world, I had no choice but to just deal with what I had at the moment. And sometimes I was home alone with the kids, and my kids are not those magical TV kids that stay still for an hour at a time. I don't have that.
Where do those kids go?
Shout out to all the people in the world that have those, because I want to know what that's like just for one day.
Yeah, I remember one of the pre-interviews. I was like, I had a background, and my little girl was just crying. It was right after a bad incident, so she comes in, knocks the background over, and then jumps up and tries to just like cuddle with me. I'm like, I'm sorry, I gotta
go.
I think it's always hilarious is that, and I will admit, I've talked to the one of our guests so many times on the Wisdom app. Shout out to the Wisdom app, to the Wisdom community, great place. I've talked to this woman so many times, and I still messed up her name. I was calling her Christine Hall, and her name is Christina Hawley.
That's hard.
I know. I've gotten somebody's book completely wrong before.
No.
I was saying it's supposed to be busting through. I know, but this is what I mean. These are things that we're telling you right now are things you're going to do. It's
Yeah.
gonna
Okay.
happen.
It's
And
gonna
it's fine. It's fine. Everything is fine.
Yes. Oh,
But
We
seriously,
we survived it. You can too. I'm just
yes.
saying.
Yeah.
If we have all survived it, guys,
Yes.
going live, looking totally ridiculous. Let me tell you, there's been times where like I wish I could just start over the live and nobody saw the previous one, but there's no way to do that. Once you're
Right.
live, it's done. You hit the button, you just got to go with the flow.
Go with it.
But those are the moments you grow from. Those are the moments where you're like, you know what? I kind of actually liked how that flowed, or I didn't like how that happened. Let's refocus it for next episode. And then, because your ultimate goal is just to grow from each episode. That's all
True.
you can hope for. You
Right.
can't worry about how many views you're getting, how many likes you're getting, how many comments you're getting, because you're not going to get a whole lot in the beginning. I'm sorry,
Nope.
but that's just the truth. I
Not
don't
at
get a
all.
whole lot. I've been doing this for 2 years. I barely get like maybe 5 people to watch me live, but I get a heck of a lot of people to watch the replays. But
Mm-hmm.
you can't focus on those little things that I feel like social media and influencers and stuff make it really a big deal of, oh, I have so many followers, oh, I have so many people that watch me live. Okay, good for you. But I'd rather have 1,500 followers who support me religiously on everything I do than 10,000 followers who maybe only 1,500 of them actually pay attention to me. What are the other ones doing?
Right.
Just
and who
taking
are actually real.
following
Who are
and who are
actually
actually
real, not
real.
robots.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't even know that sometimes, because sometimes
Yeah.
they're just people who sign up to follow you, and I mean, whatever, follow me what you will, but I'm really big on that. It's gonna be scary. You're gonna mess up. It's okay.
Yes.
I promise.
It's
It's
okay.
It's
It's
okay.
okay, sweetie.
Okay.
It's okay.
Yeah,
It's
And
okay. I have a quick question. With
uh-oh.
everybody, with what you do, how comfortable are you feeling? Like, is it a 100? Oh, baby.
Oh, baby. There's my little man right there. There's my little man.
Yeah, okay. You can sit with me.
Hi, buddy.
join us.
Hey.
Everybody's saying hi. Can you say hi?
Hi.
Oh,
This is what I'm talking about. See?
it's real. The struggle is real.
Struggle
Makes
is
it a real show, though, right?
hmm Because it's
right.
life. We're parents. This is going to happen.
The
These things
babies.
are going to happen. Yeah, I
Yes, they
know.
are.
He
Yes,
looks so much like you too.
does. He looks just like you.
It,
You
it- it's
spit
like
that one out.
it's like you actually gave birth to that child there.
Spit that one up.
No, 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 there
And
isn't.
my sarcasm, my facial expressions, my
Mhm,
everything this child has. So he's
mhm.
legit little mini me. Oh,
That's awesome.
that's not good, baby. That's not good.
Don't hit that button.
Okay.
Here she's gone. Well, we were
Everything.
live for a little bit there.
Yeah.
He'll say something sarcastic or jokingly or make some kind of facial expression, and it'll look exactly like me, and I'll look right at my boyfriend and be like, I'm sorry, man. I popped out another me, but in male form. I don't know how the world's gonna react to that.
Yes.
Oh, we've already seen how it
Like, I'm
reacts.
not sure.
We've already seen how it reacts.
That is
There's
too
gonna have people going,
funny.
"Ah."
He's my
Oh,
mini
I
me. He's my
know.
mini me.
Yeah.
I got
Love
3
him.
girls,
And
and
the
I look
oldest,
like the little sister.
Yeah, she's the one. I'm serious. If you look at all her kids plus her in there,
Yeah, I look
she's the
like the
smallest
little
one
one.
out of all of them. She literally is the tiniest one of them all. I'm not kidding you. It's hilarious. I'm looking at like,
They're all tall.
who here?
that's mom goals for me. I want to
Mom,
be the mom where they're not sure who's picking up my kids.
Yeah, they're like, oh,
is that your
They're
sister?
like, that's my mom.
Hey,
I like it. Like,
stop staring at my
Mom
mom.
goals.
That's her mom. Oh my gosh,
No, but
she's got a
you
hot
wouldn't
dick.
believe how many times I've been live and they just come in just like that to sit on my lap, to
Mhm.
I don't know. I've had them like crawl on my back like I'm a jungle gym and like sit on my
Wow.
shoulders. And I
That's
just go with the
crazy.
flow.
I had the cat in of course it doesn't just sit there quietly, it'll start to meow. And so I'll try to put myself on mute, but there's only so much I can do. And I'll have to talk and then the cat's in the background and just have to bring it in as a prop and you're like, yay, here's my cat.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Malabar.
See, that should be like a Halloween episode for you. Just dress up,
Right?
just dress up like what's his face and go like this, everything. Mhm.
Dr. Evil. No,
Yes!
no.
And then just
oh shoot, what was it? Mr. Gadget, Inspector Gadget.
oh
yeah.
god, what was the bad
Was
guy's
it
name? I don't
Claw?
remember.
Claw. Yeah.
The claw.
Mhm.
Claw had
It's just
big-
like
Love
just
it.
come up with a hand. It's all iron. It's like, oh, see, I knew it. I knew you were that guy. I mean, Al. I mean, he, she, it. I don't know what's your pronoun.
We all know.
No.
We all know I'm gonna be Mirabelle for Halloween, so we're just gonna have to figure out what everybody else is going to be for Halloween.
No.
I've already got the bald head, so I can do Dr. Evil, and I already got the scar, so you know.
I can put the red on and be like, what's her name? The evil the evil person that has the
There's a lot of those evil people, you know.
That narrows it down.
No, I'm
That
trying
narrows
to
it down.
remember the name. It's so weird because it's like,
From what movie?
what
What
happened?
movie are we talking about?
We're
What
talking
movie?
about Batman, right? And the bad
Poison Ivy?
chick. Yes.
Oh,
I
the guy
love
that can
Poison
take that
Ivy.
down.
I
my
could be
goodness.
poison.
No, it was Harley Quinn. That's who you're thinking of, probably.
That one too. Yes.
Ashley should
She's
be
a
Harley
huge.
Quinn.
Oh my
I
I want
god!
Ashley to have half
That's
pink
good
and
for
half
her.
blue hair.
Yeah. Like
want it so
costumes, like, oh yeah, I can pull that off.
I know and I've been trying to get my husband to put this on the car and he's like no. He's like no. I'm like why? But I like
Okay,
Harley Quinn.
if you're going to do the Harley Quinn, you have to do the Batman and the animated series Batman Harley Quinn.
Why?
With the
Awesome.
outfit
Because
and
that's the
everything.
classic.
Ooh.
That's
Okay.
the classic.
That's the classic.
That's the classic one.
Don't
I
be
love
mainstream. Go classic.
Go classic.
We're old enough to go
Be
classic.
classy. Be classy, girl. Be classy, okay?
All right. Well, I mean, the bottom row here has their outfits for Halloween all picked out. You guys got to figure something out up there.
I already told you I was going to be Dr. Evil.
Oh, okay.
I'm
Well,
already
you know what?
bald.
Wouldn't it be
I already
funny
got a
if
scar across
like
my eye, so you know, might as well.
it would be funny if Max tried to be like John Cena or something.
The
Oh,
Rock.
that would be
Like
awesome.
no wait, what's the superhero?
I can do the eye. I
that-
can do the eye.
What's
I
the
can do the eye.
superhero that John Cena just dresses
Oh,
up like?
Peacemaker. Peacemaker.
Peacemaker. That's the
Yeah.
one for you, buddy.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
the one for you.
Peacemaker. Ah, stop it. Stop it.
Oh, yeah.
Stop it. He's horrible. But
Oh my.
it's fun. I love it because I think, anytime you can play a character or you can be something different just for a change,
Mhm.
that would like throw everybody off. They'd be like, wait, what just happened? What
Well, that's
what
you
did
every
she
day.
Oh yeah.
he's-
That's you every day, though.
Okay, but it could be which one.
That's true. That is true. That's true.
Whichever. But no, I love it. I love everything that that comes along with it because like you can always ask for certain things and be certain things. Oh dang. You
Such a boss, Tiffany. I love it. Taking
That's
it.
Yeah, he's already out cold.
he's like, I don't want to go to sleep.
This is the reason why I love being a parent is because of that right there.
Right.
That is the
Remember,
best
take it all
feeling ever.
Yeah.
When he
Yeah.
was tiny, he couldn't go back
Oh my
to sleep until his hand was right here, and he would keep it there.
Mhm.
He would
Yep.
keep it there until he passed out.
Aw.
Yeah.
Aw.
How old are you?
My little
He's 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember with Alex, who's my 5-year-old, who will be 6 on the 31st. Um, he when I did have my beard, he would do the same thing. He would just be laying there, all of a sudden, you just like this, and then just like trying to tear it off my face. I'm like, dude, that is attached. That is attached. It's
Oh yeah, he'll come downstairs
Oh.
wide awake, laughing, talking.
mhm.
The moment he touches skin to skin with me, like the moment passes out. It's
Yeah,
so funny. It's so
yep.
funny. Like
Oh.
within seconds, you're like in conversation with him and he'll be passing out mid sentence. It's like,
Mm-mm-mm.
okay, whatever. I'm
Yep.
boring. Good.
Yep.
Cool.
Like I'm boring. Okay.
I'm
You
boring.
go to
Your mom. Of course you're boring. Come on now. No,
I'm just
I
gonna have a
I
That's
friend
why I do the show, people.
around
Don't you
you.
I
get
know.
it?
To put kids to sleep. Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
have
it works.
friends. What? Why do you?
I'm a
I
parent. I
am
have no
I
friends.
am a mom of 2 boys who keep me very, very busy. I don't have time
Hmm.
to go out, and if I do go out, it's usually for a networking event. So this is my life. These are my friends.
Yeah.
This is how I get friends, people. I talk to them on interviews. That's how I do it.
Hmm.
Mhm.
and
It's the
talk
only
to
way to
And
do it
yourself
it
anymore.
helped.
later.
And talk to yourself in a
I
British
tell you what,
accent.
I had really bad postpartum depression after this one.
Mm,
Like,
Um,
really bad. I didn't
mm,
want anything to do with the world. I didn't want to get out of my room. I didn't want to do
mm,
anything that didn't go past waking up, making sure the kids were good, that as soon as they passed out, I'd pass out.
mm,
mm,
And it was
mm,
almost like I had no control over my body. Like my body
yeah.
decided when I was going to pass out.
mm.
Hmm.
And um it was
Poor
networking
thing.
events and
I'm
trying to
having
grow the
I'm
business.
having yeah. I'm having flashbacks. I'm
He'll
sorry.
move around a lot. Sorry ahead of
I'm just
time.
having flashbacks of being a dad and holding both my boys that way. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Um,
Aw.
but yeah, you know,
I like kids.
going live. I told Ashley this story. I think I told Mac this story too. When
Hmm.
I went live the very first time, an hour before going live, I found out my grandfather passed away,
Hmm.
Aw.
and he was one that was always very quick to say, you know, the universe is beating you up good, kiddo. I think it's time it owes you something. Something big is coming your way. Always would tell me that.
Mm,
And you know, it wasn't it wasn't necessarily that we didn't expect it to happen, but we didn't it just happened a lot sooner than we thought it would.
yeah.
So, I remember I was upset and whatnot. The guy that I was going to interview was like, "Oh, hey, I'd understand if you want to reschedule." I was like, "Oh god, my grandfather would haunt me for the rest of my life if if I did not go live."
Mhm.
So, you know, every time I do something new for the show, every time I do something um and debut it or whatever, I just make sure I dedicate it to him through the whole
Mhm.
process because you know
Yeah.
it initially started on his death.
Mhm.
So
and and this is
so
what I'm saying. This is what I'm talking about. Of it, like these are things that are going to happen to you, and this
Yeah.
is what
yeah
makes podcasts so real. And this is what's going to allow you to connect with your audience.
Yes.
Is the fact that you are being authentic
Mhm.
when we have hard times. We have to put a mask on a little bit, but we still want to be ourselves still.
Yeah.
So when we have a loss or we have children coming in that drive us crazy, you know, these are things that are going to make your show unique because you're
mm-hmm.
allowing it to happen and you're not editing it out. You
Mhm.
know,
Mhm.
the only thing that I ever have edited out of my shows are just background noises and certain ums here or there just to shrink it down enough. But everything else is authentic. Everything else is real. And when
Yeah
me and Marcella, who is my co-host, we mess with each other all the time. You know, it's that's the dialogue that we have with each other,
Yeah.
and it's something that you're going to notice with your guests that when they see that, it makes them feel more comfortable. It
yeah
makes them
mm-hmm.
feel like you're actually being someone that's just sitting on the steps in the city, just having a conversation with them with a cup of coffee or a cup of tea or whatever you want to call it, whatever you want to drink. But you're just there having a conversation about something that's important that you want to share. And that's what you want to do. Having, because me, I actually have like an outline of questions that, are nice to ask. But if I don't get to them, I don't get to them. It's not a big deal. It doesn't bother me. But at least I have some type of structure that I have. But majority of the time, I'll leave one or two of those questions out, either to let my co-host ask them questions or because we're running low on time. And that's something that you're going to have to understand when you're creating and starting this podcast, finding your niche, figuring out who your target market is. And
Yep.
this is something I said earlier in Clubhouse with someone else's group room, was that if you want a successful podcast, you have to figure out what you want to talk about and who your audience is. Because if you have it too broad, you're not going to connect with anybody. So, for instance, like we all have our specific niches that we have. Lady Maya has people that are very passionate. They want to tell their story. You know, Ashley has wonderful stories with creative people. You Tiffany has small businesses. I have authors, newly published or unknown authors. So we have our target guests, so we know exactly how to go after the audience and how to present it to them. And that's something that you're going to need to do. You're going to need to figure out what other podcasts are out there that are close to what you want to do. So if you want to do something like one of us, okay, come listen to our podcast, get a feel for them, figure out what you like about it and what you don't like about it,
Mm-hmm.
and put your own spin on it. And then go after the audience and figure out, hey, what do you like about this show? Because I thought it was
Yeah.
interesting too how they did this and that. That way you get um, live feedback from them, real feedback, not something from a robot that's putting a 5-star review up. I'm happy I have at least two 5-star ratings now, because I had one directly from someone that was on the show and someone who wanted to be on the show. So they were giving me their actual live feedback.
Yeah.
And every time that I get off the air, no one else hears this except for me and Marcella, is what did we do right? What did we do wrong? And what can we work on? So what did you like? What
Yeah.
you didn't like? And what do we need to work on? And those are things you're going to have to ask yourself every time. You're going to have to present that to yourself every time, and um, be honest with yourself, because that's the other thing that's going to help you to be successful. Being honest with yourself and about your show. So if you feel like when we were talking about the first couple of shows that we've had, we can laugh about them because it's funny. It sucked at
It
the
is.
moment, but it's funny
It
now.
really did.
But it's something that we went through, so we know what we can work on. I know not to keep the button muted after a video, or to double check before I actually talk, to make sure I remember the actual name of my guest and their book. You know,
That's not easy,
and it's not
right?
easy when
It's
you have
not.
like 15
That
different
is
things you got going on at the same time,
Yeah.
because you got to put
I
on the
think
banners and
every
everything.
episode, sorry, I think every episode, almost every episode, I've been like, today's guest is, you know what? I'm gonna let them introduce themselves,
Introduce themselves.
because not because I don't remember their name. Their name is in front of me the entire time. It's that I'm scared I'm gonna pronounce it wrong and I'm gonna get
right.
Right.
destroyed
Exactly.
on camera.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Now sometimes I take the leap and I try to do it. And often, for the most part, I have survived. Or if I do say it wrong, they'll just correct me
Right.
and be nice about it. I haven't had anybody like jump down my throat about it.
Mhm.
But
Well,
yeah,
that's a
pretty much
good thing.
every episode. It's just
Yeah.
become my thing now, where I'm just like, sorry, I forgot to ask her how to pronounce her name before the episode.
Yeah.
We'll just
Getting
deal
into
with
that
it when she gets on.
stuff too, remembering at the beginning, like, oh, I gotta remember to ask that person. It's taking me forever. I think I finally just did that. I had an interview earlier today. I finally remembered to ask the person how to pronounce their last name, so I wasn't, because sometimes I'll just look, this is the first name, and I'll, it's like, hey, hopefully you'll just
Right.
say your name again, and yeah. But getting into that rhythm is like, okay, I'm sending this, we'll start with
That's
that,
hard.
and then, yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah.
it
I
helps.
think I think it's difficult too because like okay, I have it to where it's on my shows. I can't say anybody's name. Okay? I can see your name, but I can't
Mhm.
say. So, let's see if Maya's going to say a name is right. And everybody like looks at it like she done lost her mind.
Hmm.
But it's a real thing that,
Yeah.
most
It
people
is.
deal with. So, it is what
And
it is.
here's the fun thing about that too is that it gives you the great thing about memories is just like the basic psychology is when an emotion is attached to an event, it becomes a memory. So
Mhm.
when we have these little things like forgetting a name or messing up something with during that time, it's stuck in there and it allows us to remember that situation. Or even if we
Hmm.
forget at one point, we can go back and just listen. He's like, oh my gosh, I forgot all about that. That is so dang funny now. So I'm going to ask you, all you ladies, this too. Who out of all, when you on your shows, what is your favorite mistake that you've made that has made you laugh right now?
Ooh.
What is your
Oh,
favorite
got
show?
so
What
many.
which episode? Which I know which episode is like the top tier of like, oh, this was my favorite guest because they were so nice and they were understanding, or this was my favorite episode because of the fact that I screwed up on this and it just makes me laugh now and it allows me to make a difference in what I do and stuff. So I'm going to
Yeah.
start with Ashley because she's talked the least, which is normal when all four of us are together. So
Oh man. The one I think that is probably the first one that I did. There was one in between that was kind of the worst. It was one with the cat, and that, I mean, it was a mistake where I tried to get him out of the room, but anyways, um, I think the first episode that I did, I was, you know, the host and interviewing a guest, and they were fortunately really good and like willing to talk. It's so nice when guests are like really willing to talk because sometimes it can get to a point where it's just a little, you're kind of trying to draw them out basically. And so he was really willing to talk. He was a great guest. And I said, like, I was kind of getting to the point where I wasn't sure how to direct it to close out because my first one, like, okay, how do I close down this, whole thing? And I just said something really like we were talking. I was trying to come up with another question, I think, and it was just a really dumb question. It was like, "How do you do the lighting?" And then I said something that, "What's a butterfly light?" And I know what a butterfly light is because I was just trying to like ask something. And the funny thing is, he just like looks at me like this. He's like, "Are you even in the media field?" And I felt just totally horrible. I was like, I know what a butterfly light is. I just was is panicking over here because I don't know how to close this thing down. And this is such a stupid little, problem to have. But yeah, that's probably the one that sticks out to me the most. I can't believe online, it's gonna be shown forever and ever that I don't know what a butterfly light is, and geez, but I'm pretending to be in the media and know all about.
Oh,
all right, Lady Maya, you're next.
um, God dang it. Well, I have two real quick.
Okay.
One is he's a pro. He wrote a song. He wrote a Was it a musical? No, I'm sorry. It was he wrote a movie. Thank you, Jesus. Okay, so he wrote a movie. He lived in Canada. Super interesting. Like I was able to ask him all types of questions and different things like that. And that was just really, really a good um just a good talk with him and just trying to see what his role was and how it actually looked. So like he went all the way from Canada to UK to get his license to come back to Canada to film his movie. It was amazing. And then Miss Dr. Atuo, I did I say it right? I think I said it wrong. Okay, so she was she was really really cool because like she was just like, oh well, let me tell you about this and this and this, because she was from Nigeria. So like a lot of the different things that they had and how she talked and just a lot of the lingua was up there, and it was really interesting because she had a lot of different things when it came to my husband, because he does a lot of what is he's from Trinidad, so a lot of his stuff is Caribbean. Girl, I'm talking about the Caribbean. But anyway, yeah, that's what I got to say. Yay.
That's cool.
I always pity him every time, but I love him. I love
No.
him. I do. All right, Tiffany, your turn.
Do I have to? Okay, so on literally episode 3, I probably have 2 things that I want to point out. So one is on episode 3, I legitimately asked my guest, "What else can I ask you?"
I love it.
Now,
Yes.
That is awesome.
I gotta
wait,
try it.
no,
It's like right before it happens.
okay.
I don't know what to ask you anymore.
So no, I felt horrible because okay, so it was a friend from high school. I hadn't seen him since high school probably. And he owns his own business, uh decks, building decks and like building those like jungle gym arena things for the backyard and stuff like that. Like he does all that. So I really got into all these questions. It was like my 3rd episode, so I'm trying to figure out how to ask him questions because I don't set questions ahead of time. I don't have a list of questions. I just go with it and hope that they talk enough that it gets me anxious to ask another question. Uh and I rewatched the episode and heard myself ask him, "What else can I ask you?" I'm just like, "Oh god."
I love it. To me,
That's on audio, that's on video.
Yes.
I did not edit it
Yeah.
out. It's everywhere. It's
It's out
everywhere.
there.
So
Oh my
check out
god.
episode 3. Episode 3, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh
Oh
man.
wow, that's so
Oh,
hilarious. What
and
about
then
you? Oh.
okay, so the second one was I um hate pressing end end to the
Oh, the live
video
stream.
and just sitting there with that stupid look on your face staring at the
Yes.
screen waiting for it to stop recording. And then like there's times where you think it's done and you start talking or you start making this goofy face or whatever, and it's forever ingrained in this video because then that's the part of the video that YouTube or Facebook is going to choose as the as
Uh, That's the
the
thumbnail.
thumbnail for the video. Every time it will never fail. So, right, I um got around that by creating a overlay for the screen, which then ultimately turned into like my sponsors kind of tab kind of thing, where like I say thank you to the sponsors. I have a little slogan that I say at the end of the video, so that comes up, but that covers up my screen. I mute myself, I mute the guest, and it's golden because then I can wait as I'm showing all these slides off. I'm whatchamacallit, pressing end recording, and they're not looking at me or seeing me or doing anything with me. So the thumbnails end up one of my slides, which is much better than my goofy face looking mid word.
I was
It's
gonna say, how'd
always
that go
those
again?
shots. Mm.
It always
It's
makes
always that shot, and you know I'm right. Always. It's always.
That is
always
crazy.
like no joke. It always does.
That
Yeah.
is
It
crazy. But it
is.
happens though. Like even when
Mhm.
you do the editing and different things like that, and you want to put another I guess um
Overlay, background,
or or
water,
a or
bottle.
water or something else in the background, because like you want to do something that keeps their attention, just to like this is where I am. Look for me here, look for me there, this, that, and the third. And then it's like, you try to keep it all there, but at the same time, sometimes it like gets overlaid. It overlays and you're like, I don't know why it looks like that. Like, can I check that out again? But it's all good. It's all good. Oh, the baby. Oh,
Well,
he
that's
is
no
like,
baby anymore.
that's a grown man.
Right.
That's a grown
Right.
man right there. My baby, my baby. Oh, he'll be my baby.
Right?
I've
Oh
got
my
my bat ready. Don't worry, I've got my bat ready for when he gets older. But for right now, he's mine.
he's yours. I'm
He's
fine.
mine.
Oh
I'm
my
gonna do what I
gosh.
want to do.
Oh
That
my
is awesome. He's so sweet. Oh, I want him. I want to bite his butt, his little.
Did you
Um,
say bite his butt? What?
I didn't mean, but I meant his cheeks.
Don't get like don't get
His
her near the
cheeks.
kids
That's what I
anymore.
meant. Oh my gosh,
You want
I'm
to bite
having
his
one of those
cheeks
moments.
now? What?
I am his cheeks. His cheeks. He's got
You
the
want to
cutest
pinch his cheeks? Is that what you're trying to say?
his cheeks. Wanna bite his cheeks?
We can add that to the moment, like the odd moments of podcasting.
Right? Okay.
Yes.
So, ladies and gentlemen.
Lady Maya
That's
went
one of
into
those moments she wishes she could.
just rewind.
That's one of those
Lady
moments that she wishes she could edit out, people.
Lady Maya went into Hansel and Gretel just real quick.
let me bite his
Come
cheeks.
to my house full of candy, little ones. Come play with me.
I am horrible. I know. It's all good. But like he's so sweet though. He's so sweet.
You're seeing the you're seeing
Yeah.
the quiet side of him right now.
Of course, they're
I've
always
heard
sweet
the
when they're
animals in
quiet.
the background on these conversations with her.
When's usually
I
the
have
best
tons of
time
stories
you
I can
guys to
tell
do
you.
podcasting?
What's that?
When's usually the best time for you guys that you find to do podcasting? It's like less noisy. Is it when little kids are bed?
Oh yeah, I do it
I,
for me personally. I do my pre-recordings when no one else is here. No one. And on Saturdays, when my wife can actually watch the kids out there, and they've already got all the passwords to my tablets and everything, so I don't need to worry about anything whatsoever.
That's
So
awesome.
yeah, so for
Yeah.
me, it's having a partner who can say, "Stay out of our bedroom, stay out of Daddy's closet because he's recording right now." I'm like, okay. And they're like, okay, whatever. My little one's just like, yeah, okay, whatever, Dad, Mom, sure, whoever you are right now.
Poor
And the
baby.
teenagers are in the background. He doesn't even know. He doesn't even care.
He just ignores you.
there's no way that I can record anything, whether it's a podcast episode or going live just for the heck of it to talk about something or whatever, unless my boyfriend's home from work that he can keep the kids occupied. Because even if the kids are asleep, I just put this kid to sleep, and he still came and
Mm-hmm.
found me. So yeah, there's just no way. I gotta have that. I just love that extra support that I get from
Mm-hmm.
him. That he knows when I'm live, the kids go upstairs with him. They hang out. I just get done what I need to do, and then we're good for the rest of the evening. But the
Yep.
kids do understand what we're doing. They'll say, "Mommy, you have an interview," or they call it talking to somebody. Is what they say. But
Mm-hmm.
and they do support it. It's just it's hard for them when I'm the only one home to
Yeah.
then stay active with themselves, basically. So definitely anytime that my boyfriend can keep them active and occupied is when I can do it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No,
Oh,
it's
that's
helpful to
sweet.
have somebody to know with kids, and it's for me. It's helpful when she's taking a nap to know she's happy, taken care of, and I've got like an hour or so to just kind of be able to focus completely on what I need to get done as far as the podcasting and interviews go and everything like that. So as long as everything goes well.
Now mine is doing it.
Oh,
Oh, the wife.
everybody's got babies.
Well,
Oh,
guys,
No.
this is a great first episode. Is there any last words?
Yes.
Any last things? What do you want to say?
Well, I think we've hit pretty much everything that a podcaster
Yeah.
really will figure out. We've talked about being yourself,
Yeah.
understanding your audience and your niche, understanding if you have a family, something's going to happen, especially if you're live, and to understand that you don't need to be perfect at the
no,
beginning,
that's never.
because that's what's really going to make you stand out. I
Mm,
would say this. If you're going to create an intro for your show, so have an introduction uh, recording just for your show at the beginning, just to load up with the rest of your audio. That way,
mm,
people can understand what you're about, who you are, and figure out if they want to be part of your audience or not, and then they can go into
Mm-hmm.
episode 1, 2, 3, however many you have after that. Like
mm.
these ladies who have like 1,500 of them already. They've been doing it for freaking ever on end.
Yeah,
Lady Maya's been doing it since the Stone Age.
seems like. But I
Tiffany's
love
been doing
it.
it. Tiffany's been doing it since the Middle Ages.
Yeah,
And then
she's
Ashley's been doing
right
it since the 1900s. So I'm the
there.
young, I'm the young one out of all of them. That's what
Credit.
makes it even better. I'm the young one.
He's a baby.
I'm the baby.
I
I'm the baby. Gotta love me.
And I gotta remember, like when I start the one, I gotta like mentally remember. It's like, all right, what intro am I giving for this one? Because I don't want to say the wrong introduction for the wrong
Mhm.
one. Just like, hi guys, so this is the completely wrong one, by the way, and
Right.
yep, we'll start that over again. Just kidding, we can't.
True. That's very true. Oh my goodness. But it is what it is. We start this podcast all in like one thing, and it's just like we just want to be heard. We not only did we want to be heard, we wanted other people to be heard. So
Mhm.
it was just a great thing. It was a great medium for everybody.
Mhm.
So everybody out there.
Mhm.
Woo-hoo. So if you
And-
want to try to start a podcast, you can
Ooh, here
ask
we go with British.
either
Here we
one
go with
of us.
British.
Either one of us. I want to
Mhm.
go British, right? Yeah. I want to start either one of us as your podcast provider. So we can
Oh my
help.
gosh.
I love
Oh
it.
my gosh.
No, that's
And,
awesome.
and don't worry about monetizing yet. Don't
Yeah.
even think about the
Oh God, no.
monetization. Not until you get a good enough size audience, because
Yeah.
it's not going to happen. You're not going to
Wow.
get any affiliations, because the first thing they're going to ask you is, what's your audience size?
Mm,
And that's one thing you will always hear when you go try to talk to people every
yeah.
time.
What's
All
your
right.
size?
What about you, Tiffany? And you have to do the British
It's gonna
accent.
be very
British accent.
hard.
Nope, 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 nope. British accent. British
Ach-
accent.
I'm Puerto Rican. So okay. This is what you're doing. This is what I want you to be doing. Okay, so my number one thing I think I would want you to leave with is just remember to stop comparing yourself to
Yeah.
everyone who's been doing this, whether they've been doing it for one day longer than you, a year longer than you, 10 years longer than you.
Mhm.
They've had the experience that one extra day, yes, but you're on your road and your journey that only you can take. There's nobody else who could take it for you.
Mhm.
So, if you're going to start a podcast on your own, if you're going to start that journey, do it. Do not hesitate. Press record and have at it. But
Yeah.
then learn from each individual episode that you do. yes, you can learn from other people. Maybe you want to take a certain amount of things that they do from their episode and say, hey, I kind of like that. Maybe I'll try it for mine. Try it.
Right.
But I bet you there's going to be more than not where you're like, I actually don't like how that flows with my episode, and you're going to end up not using it. Keep it real to you. Your viewers will know when you're not being legit. They're going to know. They're going to know. Like that viral thing on TikTok, they're going to know. I'm sorry. They're going to know.
Mhm.
There's no way you're going to BS people on social media nowadays. If you're going to come on and say something, you better be 100% legit about it, or they're going to call you out on it. And you better be ready for that.
I feel like
so,
said everything's done that. It's brought that out.
Yeah. So that's number one for me. Just, take it one day at a time and go from there.
Exactly. Yes. That's what I'm talking
Enjoy
about.
the personality. Enjoy the personality that was given to you, because that's what people are going to come after you.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Look at all us. I mean, we got personalities out the wazoo. I've got at least 65 of them. Lady Maya's got at least 150 of them. Tiffany's just Tiffany. She can't figure out if she's Puerto Rican or British. So, and then Ashley, well, she's the light one of us all. So,
like I said, I'm the boring one.
She's the boring one. I'm the boring one that brings the crazy to everybody.
I need to be jazzed.
So bad. Oh my gosh. But it happens.
I remember one last thing. Like when I first started podcasting, I started listening to podcasts, and there were some that had so many the ads. There's so many ads on some of them. It was just like that's all you listen to the first 10 minutes, and I'm just thinking to myself, oh my goodness, if this is the way it's got to be, one, I need more ads, and two, how is that possible? But then it was nice to hear there was other people that didn't have any. It just went right exactly some music right to the message, and that was really nice. And so it's kind of good to see both sides. And then some people had their affiliate or their ad in the middle as kind of a nice little break, and they knew how to like kind of train the conversation so that it got to that point where it was perfect time to end, a quick break, and then you're back at it again. And so that's kind of nice to know that there's so many different options out there. And like Tiffany said, you don't have to be like the Joneses. You can just pick what's best for you, basically, and what's gonna, take you to the next level. If you're not gonna be real, there's not too much sense. I mean, like it's gonna be a little bit harder. Your audience won't connect with you as well.
Sure.
Yeah.
I like my audience. They always connect with me and tell me off. I like that.
So that's the reason why you don't answer your phones. That's the reason why.
Do not. Do not. Like, I'm pretty sure I said enough stuff to, get my producers all mad and everybody else. And I'm like,
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
She froze. I think it's time to
Oh,
go.
no.
Uh-oh.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
But if
my kid's even like, yo, guys, I need my mom.
Yeah, we put it here, and we'll see you back here next month, or February.